1921, a new government takes over in Tehran. It denounces the British treaty and signs a new one with the Soviet government in Moscow. Iran is depending on the Russians to help them eliminate the British presence. By the end of 1920, nationalist Arabs are rioting in Egypt and Palestine. King Saud of Arabia and Prince Faisal are fighting the British and French with their own armies. Sentiment grows in London that Great Britain should withdraw from the Middle East entirely. The British Foreign Office believes that the new Soviet regime in Moscow is behind much of the unrest. But it is really Great Britain and France, two Western countries trying to impose their rule on a predominantly Muslim world. In early 1921, Churchill takes charge of the government's Middle Eastern policy as colonial secretary. The Arabs want Palestine, but leaders of the Jewish Zionist movement are encouraging Jews around the world to resettle there. Arab landowners fear that they will be pushed out of their land. The Zionists point to the Balfour Declaration of 1917 as a justification from the British government itself for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. In July of 1922, Churchill argues before the House of Commons that Britain must accept a mandate over Palestine from the League of Nations. The measure is adopted, and Britain is committed to ensuring the security of a Jewish homeland in the Middle East. By the end of 1922, the League of Nations has approved a system of mandates that leaves France in charge of Syria and Lebanon, while Great Britain controls Palestine, Jordan, and Iraq. Prince Faisal, driven from Syria by the French, now rules in Iraq under the influence of London. His brother, Prince Abdullah, is chosen by the British to rule the new nation of Jordan, while west of the Jordan River, the Jewish nation is promised a homeland in Palestine. A national homeland for the Kurds never materializes, and they are spread to this day across parts of Turkey, Iran, and Iraq. But British plans go somewhat awry in Arabia. In a 6-year war, from 1919 to 1925, the new kingdom of Saudi Arabia emerges, where huge oil reserves will soon be discovered. In Syria and Lebanon, French General Maxime Weygand and his troops fight against Muslim insurrections for several years. Not until the 1930s will Damascus and Beirut gain real independence. In redrawing the map of the Middle East for the benefit of Western political and economic aims, and in selecting pro-Western leaders to rule Muslims of various cultures and religious beliefs, Europe guarantees that the future of the Middle East will be plagued by civil strife, regional wars, and foreign occupation. The key ingredient for political stability, legitimacy, has been largely destroyed by a Western fabrication that has virtually ignored the history and traditions of the Middle East.